From KGW, this is The Good Stuff.
It's been very successful. We have very little fuel on the ground.
Oregon's largest solar farm getting help from sheep to better our environment. Thank you for joining us here on The Good Stuff. I'm Christine Pitawanich. The first Wednesday of every single month is a Good Energy Day here at KGW, and it's where we shine the spotlight on local people, businesses, and organizations doing good things for the environment. Today, our Chris McGinnis shows us Oregon's largest solar farm covering 1,200 acres in eastern Oregon.
My name is Cameron Krebs. I'm a fifth-generation sheep producer here in the Columbia Basin.
Grazing among the nearly 500,000 solar panels covering the 1,200 acres that is Pashwiwet Fields in the heart of Gilliam County.
It's like Thanksgiving for them every day, right?
You'll find Cameron and his flock.
And we raise Rambouillet sheep that are suited for our arid eastern Oregon climate.
And well suited for some of Oregon's most famous threads. The sheep you see here supply Pendleton woolen mills. Pashwiwet means sun in native Sahaptin language, an acknowledgement to history held in these lands, now home to Oregon's largest solar site.
It is about 3 of these panels from the end of the road to where I'm at would be able to power one house.
Dustin Irvin runs the 162 megawatt facility for Avangrid Renewables and recalls the challenges keeping the panels clear of tall grass and the fire hazard it presents.
So when I came in and the guys were mowing 24 hours a day, basically 16 hours double shifts.
Rather than continuing to waste valuable manpower or lay waste to the soil with herbicides, they took a more holistic approach to rehabilitating the land.
And it's been very successful. We have very little fuel on the ground.
Pictures show the before and after Krebs brought his 2,500 sheep to graze.
He's still able to get his wool, he's still able to get his meat, and the sheep as they pass through here their droppings are making the soil better with microbes and nitrogen, so it's just a big win-win for the whole company.
The site provides local jobs and tax revenue to the county, and it powers PGE's Green Future Impact program.
Green Future Impact is a voluntary program for our large businesses and municipalities that allows them to source their clean energy needs through the means of something like this, a new regional solar or wind facility brought on by their participation.
Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
It is that time again for us to get out there, and this week we are headed to Clackamas County. John Goodwin takes us to a Trackers Earth summer camp and gives us a look at how they're teaching kids some important wilderness skills.
We are in a world nowadays where kids don't get the opportunity to play outdoors. Our focus is to get kids outdoors and also work on skills that are not common anymore.
Getting kids outside can be an adventure.
Now look, pay attention. If you pay attention, you get to play with fire, okay?
Getting them to stay there is what this camp is all about.
We want to give them skills that empower them to be gritty, resilient, and adaptable.
Tony Dice is the founder of Trackers Earth. They teach kids how to navigate the outdoors with a respect for its hazards. With a smile on his face, he'll tell you,
Trackers Earth has been giving kids knives since 2004.
But they do it with an emphasis on safety. At their day camp in Sandy, expert staff members teach a wide range of survival skills.
What happens if you take something and you grind it and you spin it really fast? What happens? It heats up. And that makes fire. And that makes fire, exactly.
Proud Star Espinoza is a site supervisor. He can make eyes light up like a fire pit.
You guys are gonna love the name of this mushroom. It's called giant brown butt rot mushroom. So this grows and dries out, and if you get this next to a coal, it will take on that coal and it will last for a very long time. It won't blow out.
The camps are divided into 4 guilds, focusing on different skills: artisans, mariners, wilders, and rangers.
This is mostly where we do our rangers camps and our artisan camps. So you're going to see kids carving with knives. You're going to see them doing archery. They'll be throwing axes, lighting fires, and learning how to do all these things safely, but also in a way that empowers them to play longer outdoors. We're here to actually help kids be the badass they know they are. And hopefully I can say that on camera.
Trekkers Earth teaches kids they're not just observers of nature, but part of it. They even offer programs for adults too.
Our camps are typically 1 week long, Monday to Friday. And at this site, this mostly day camps. And we have kids that go from grade K to grade 9. At our overnight site, just a couple miles down the road, we have all the way from grade 4 to grade 12.
By the end of the week, the kids have more curiosity and confidence too.
Well, the huckleberries were easy to find, but the salmon berries were really hard to find.
The goal here is to provide as close as possible that experience and empower them with skills where they can also go out and do it on their own, self-directed, outdoors, in nature, together.
Yum.
In Sandy, I'm John Goodwin. Let's get out there.
Well, the heat, and as you've undoubtedly heard, the dangerous fire conditions out there are prompting several cities to opt out of fireworks this year. In Tigard, 200 drones will instead be taken to the sky of fireworks. Here's an example of what the drone show will look like. The show in Tigard will last about 10 to 15 minutes, which the city says is about the same amount of time as the fireworks show the last 35 plus years. But this year, it'll just be quieter and safer.
It will be different, but I think more inclusive. So when making this decision, we focus on kind of 3 key elements. One, the environment, being a lot more environmentally friendly than a lot of the debris and things that are left behind, air pollution from fireworks, veterans, folks with PTSD, and then just wildlife or your pets.
Wilsonville and Lake Oswego also doing something a bit different and putting on a laser light show. All 3 events in Tigard, Wilsonville, and Lake Oswego are free to attend. But if you're more traditional, say, and want to see fireworks, there are still plenty of options. At the Waterfront Blues Festival, fireworks are scheduled to start around 10 o'clock. In the Gorge, there will be a show at Lewis and Clark Festival Park in the Dalles. And out on the coast, Seaside will have a celebration on the beach. The city there says it's one of the largest fireworks shows on the West Coast. You can find a full list of fireworks shows right now on KGW.com. And we asked you for your favorite spot to celebrate the 4th of July. Thank you in advance to everyone who took a moment to share with us. Take a look at Veronica Gaston's post. Veronica says she enjoys participating in the Willamina 4th of July parade. She decorated her walker and wagon in red, white, and blue. Super cool. And hey, by the way, this is the 75th anniversary of that parade. And take a look at this picture from Ray Lancaster. He says his favorite spot is over at Detroit Lake. Beautiful up there in the Santiam Canyon. Love that shot. Then there's Scott, who likes watching the fireworks from Seaside. Gorgeous shot here of the sunset from the coast. Such vibrant colors. And by the way, you can always share your photos and stories of good stuff happening in your community by texting us at the number right there on your screen, 503-226-5088. You can also email us at thegoodstuff@kgw.com. Ahead on the good stuff, making history on the ice. The Seattle Kraken make a big hire for this upcoming season. And an Olympic journey more than a decade in the making. The persistence that paid off for a sailor who will be making his debut in Paris. Stay with us. Welcome back. It was history made for the Seattle Kraken today as the team hired Jessica Campbell as an assistant coach. She's the first full-time female assistant coach in the NHL. Connor Board caught up with her after the announcement today.
I'm super excited about that.
New leadership has arrived for the Seattle Kraken. Bob Woods and Jessica Campbell are joining the bench squad. Not only is assistant coach Jessica Campbell new to the Kraken,
It's been a great day. It's been exciting. I'm just kind of taking it all in and still not settled.
She's the first ever full-time female assistant coach to work behind the bench in the NHL.
I think it's really important to recognize just how it's going to hopefully transform the landscape and allow different people and different organizations, and Seattle's a special one. This is a really special place.
She says she does not feel like the first because of how many other women work in the NHL in different capacities.
I've had many great colleagues, other women that are on this list of women behind me and with me and above me, and that we're all, sharing our love for the game and doing it in different levels.
Most recently, Campbell worked with head coach Bilesma at the Seattle Kraken's minor league team in Coachella Valley and has coached in Germany. She has worked in player development for years and was even spotted with the Kraken during Tuesday's practice. We asked her if another playoff run could be in the future after falling short this year.
There's a lot of skill, there's a lot of depth, and I think that the team is going to be hungry to get back to that same spot and potentially achieve more.
She played professionally in Canada and Sweden before coaching. In the past 5 years, she has had her eye on the NHL, but she has already coached NHL players.
Just definitely building on the relationships of the younger guys, Ty Karche and Riker Evans, and even Joey, and I've coached Grubauer before in Germany.
She hopes when young Kraken fans see her behind the bench at games, they know they can do anything they believe in, because she says she may be the first woman, but hopes to not be the last.
Believe it even if you don't see it, because it is possible, and I hope that this has proved that it's possible, and I'm excited to be able to meet the young kids along the way and be an example for them to chase the dreams, however big or bold they are to anyone, and whether they're in sport or not, or in hockey.
It is possible. I love that. Hey, a quick reminder too, KGW is an official media partner of the Seattle Kraken. You can always catch games right here on KGW. That will start this fall. Let's talk Olympics for a moment. 2 Portland Thorns players are among the 18 players representing Team USA at the Olympics. So back in Tokyo, the team took home bronze, you might remember. 8 of those players on that 2022 team will be in Paris, hoping to grab the gold this time. The U.S. women won gold back at the Atlanta Games in 1996. Their last Olympic gold was at the 2012 Games in London.
The world is getting better, but that's okay. Like, we should be celebrating the growth of the women's game, and I still truly believe we're set out to go to this Paris Olympics and hopefully win a gold medal.
Yeah, crossing our fingers for them. Sophia Smith and Sam Coffey, who play for the Thorns, will talk to media tomorrow about making the Olympic team. Our very own Orlando Sanchez will have that for you tomorrow on the news at 11. And if at first you don't succeed, gosh, I almost didn't succeed that first time around when I tried to get it out, try again. That's the case for U.S. sailor Hans Hansen. He was an alternate in Rio and didn't qualify in Tokyo, but he'll make his debut in Paris. He earned an aeronautical and astronautical engineering degree from Stanford, and it's really come in handy in the sport.
One of the biggest parts of sailing is maintaining and tuning your equipment. And the performance edge of getting that right is huge. And knowing and understanding the engineering behind that and being able to apply that to sailing is been a huge competitive advantage for me. And it's one of the biggest areas that I think there's a lot of crossover.
Wow, talk about talent physically and also talented mind. Hansen is 31 years old, and it was his mom who actually introduced him to sailing at a summer camp when he was just 4 years old. Very cool stuff. And next, we will be talking about dodgeball. Nope, it is not an Olympic sport, at least not yet.
I do think that dodgeball should be an Olympic sport. Breakdancing is, we should be too.
Yeah, good point. We hit the court with some local dodgeball stars getting ready to represent Team USA in the World Championships. Stay with us. What was once a PE class staple is now a competitive playground for adults. And with a world championship at stake, some local pro dodgeball players are hoping to take the game to the next level. KGW's Art Edwards has more on the 5 Portland athletes headed to the World Dodgeball Championships next month in Austria.
It all starts here, the gym at Friendly House in Northwest Portland. This is the Dodgeball PDX Recreational League. Dozens of people having a great time on the court. It's the place where 5 local players began their journey to Team USA, the Rec League, then travel teams, and finally spots on the national team. Grace Rowan is part of the mixed foam team headed to Austria for the World Championships.
No, when I started, I didn't even know that was a thing, that was a possibility. And then I started seeing these really good players, and I'm like, oh, they're on Team USA. I was like, well, sounds like something I want to do.
There are 2 disciplines, the foam ball, where there are 6 players to a side and 6 balls in play, and the cloth ball, with 6 players and 5 balls in play. Games are timed for both types of balls. The court is roughly 60 feet long and 30 feet wide, with attack lines and a neutral zone. Knocking out players is pretty straightforward.
Catching's loud, hitting, all of that, deflecting, get someone out.
If you catch a ball, a teammate gets to return to the game. It's about a whole lot more than just throwing, dodging, and catching. There's strategy, and these players say being part of a team is a lot like being part of a family.
In the end, it's a team sport, and that's what I really like about it. I never expected being in my 30s, I'm 32 now, and playing, a sport, especially at the top level. So it's been pretty awesome.
It is a process to make Team USA, playing the national level tournaments, getting noticed by USA Dodgeball, and then being invited to a camp, and finally the selection process.
It was like making varsity in high school. Like you work so hard for something and then it pays off later, and it takes a long time to be really good at this for most people.
Team USA doesn't provide any funding, so the players are raising money to help pay for the trip. And how about playing opportunities in the future? The players have strong feelings about dodgeball becoming an Olympic sport.
I do think that dodgeball should be an Olympic sport. Breakdancing is, we should be too.
Art Edwards, KGW News.
Welcome back. It is Wednesday, halfway through the week, and we are now looking ahead to some of the fun events going on this weekend. First up, the 88th annual St. Paul Rodeo going on right now through Saturday. Nightly performances start at 7:30, and a fireworks show will be going off at 10:15 each night. Tickets start at $20. And the Waterfront Blues Festival kicks off on the 4th and runs through the whole weekend. Dozens of artists will be performing at Portland's Waterfront Park. Single-day tickets start at $50. And on Saturday, there is a free family-friendly event. It's East Portland's Ventura Park, hosting the 3rd annual Summer Arts Festival. There will be more than 50 events, including music and outdoor movies. That festival runs from 6 to 8:30 Saturday and Sunday night. And if you're into free, here's another one for you on Saturday. Fort Vancouver National Site will be holding a picnic in the park that starts at 11 and runs through 6 o'clock in the evening. There will be family-friendly things to do, live music, historical reenactments, plus local food and drink vendors. For more weekend inspiration, you can check out our 8 Things to Do article. It's up each week on KGW.com. It looks like that's all the time we have tonight here on The Good Stuff. As always, appreciate you being here. It's going to get hot out there though, so we hope you stay safe and cool. We're leaving you now from our Skycam in Lincoln City. Beautiful shot. A quick reminder, we will not be airing The Good Stuff tomorrow because of the 4th of July holiday, but we do hope that you have a great night, a great 4th of July as well.